Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1655, Rest and Relaxation Day. Really? Not really. Supposed to be? Yeah, right. So today was Sunday is my rest and relaxation day. Unless I'm on a 2-day workshop that goes over a weekend, Sunday is my day off. It is my day for unplugging. It is my day for just kicking back, relaxing, maybe watching a movie or two, going for a drive or anything, just something that is not work. Well, it's today was a restless day, not a restful day. It was restless. And I was like, what am I going to do? So it was sort of like we came back from our walk this morning. I thought, well, I'll get some breakfast. And I actually slept in this morning. I turned the alarm clock off to make sure that I needed to catch up on some sleep. So I actually got like 7 hours sleep, which was awesome. Got up around 7 o'clock, went for a walk, and went for a good walk. And the sun was well up by the time we went for our walk this morning. And came back and I was like, oh, I'll get some breakfast. And then I was like, no, I really don't feel like doing breakfast right now. So then I went and sat down and started playing games on the iPad. And I was like, I really don't want to do this. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll go do the laundry. So I walked all the way down to the bedroom and got changed out of my walking clothes into my clothes for the day and walked out of the bedroom without the laundry. And I was like, what is wrong with me? But I kept telling myself, I said, today's going to be a great day. It's full of love and laughter today. And Zeffy's just like walking around, just following me all the way around going, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. And so I think it was like around 10 o'clock, I finally says breakfast time. So I cooked up breakfast, had some hamburger patties left over and did them with some eggs on top. And that was brunch. And then I was like, now what am I going to do? Didn't really feel like doing any puzzles, and I'd come into the office. What did I come? I came to the office for something, and I actually sat on Zeffy on my lazy boy, which is Zeffy's chair. And I sat there, and of course, as soon as I sat there, she's sort of like, "What are you doing on my chair?" She gives me this really weird look of like, "What are you doing on my chair?" And so I got her to come over, and usually when I'm in the chair, she thinks I'm going to pick her up and we'll have cuddle time. And I said, nope, not picking you up today. But she did get a lot of good scratches and she got some hugs and that sort of thing as well. And she's learning that when I'm sitting and she comes over to me to put her front paws up on my leg, and I get her to come safe, which is between the legs. And even when if we're out walking or something, and if I'm at the dog park, I usually stand, coming from a military background, I stand easy. And so I stand there with my feet apart, and she will come if she wants to feel safe or anything. She comes and stands between my legs or sits there. And so when I'm sitting down, I have to put my feet apart so she can come and sit between my legs. And so she sits there, but I'm teaching her now to put her front paws up on my knee, and just to get some extra scrub and hugs, and so I can scratch her belly as well. And she's starting to do it. We also took her outside so she could do some zooms up and down the planter box there that we have. And we have this massive planter box in the backyard. It goes across the entire width of the backyard and down halfway down the side yard as well, of the backyard. And she will zoom backwards and forwards in that thing. And then if I get the tennis ball out there, I don't even know where this tennis ball came from. It has a split in it. So it doesn't really bounce. You just throw it. And she seems to love that thing. And like I was tossing it for her, and I couldn't get it in the planter box to save my life. Even if I'm standing over the planter box and I'm tossing, it would go and over onto the gravel that she doesn't like walking on. So after a few bits of that, and when I finally did get it to go into the planter box, she'd go and she'd zoom with it, pick it up, and then she sees me coming to walk it, so she just takes off with it, and she goes even faster when she's got the ball in her mouth. Don't ask me why. And then she'll suddenly just jump up onto the wall and walk across to where I am, and either put the ball down on the half wall there, or I'll put my hand out and she'll put it in my hand, which is kind of cool. And then I throw it again. So after that, we came in, and that was before we had breakfast. What else have we done today? And then I was just sort of like, I don't know, I was just restless. I didn't really want. My dishes were done, so I didn't have to do them, and I totally forgot to. I was like, I was meant to go do my laundry, so I walked all the way down to the bedroom to go to the laundry. It's just, I don't know what's going on with me at this point. It's at that stage where I'm sort of like, I walk into a room and go, what the hell did I come in here for now? And I'm not that old. I shouldn't be having these issues. I thought, yep, laundry, that sounds like I still haven't done my laundry today. Just so you know, every time I walk to the bedroom, I get distracted with something else and end up doing whatever I get distracted by, turning around, walking out of the room, and no laundry. So the laundry is still sitting in the basket down in the bedroom and still has not been done. So, I'm sure there's some people out there that can relate to that. And so then I thought, well, maybe I'll have a nap. No, I really don't feel like a nap. No, I don't feel like a nap. So then I thought, well, maybe I'll sit and I'll read for a bit. Haven't done that for a while. And so grabbed my Kindle, walked out to the living room, sat down and put my feet up and all of that. Oh, I'm loving all the hearts going up at the moment. Thank you. And started doing sat there and started reading. And I think I got a chapter done. I thought, no. And by this stage, it's like 1:30 in the afternoon. And then I thought, I said to Zephyr, I said, I got some work that needs to be done. Because last week I ended up working full-time at my part-time job because one of the people away, so I was covering their shift. So it meant my clients and customers I didn't get stuff done, and their work's been building up in my inbox all week. And I've done a little bit here and there, but I thought, I'm going to go make a dent in that. So I did. I came and sat in here I ended up being in here for 3 hours working on the computer, got that stuff done. And for some reason, I was laser focused. I didn't worry about that. The laundry hadn't been done. I didn't want to read. I didn't want to do puzzles. I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to, I have my water here. But I was like laser focused on this stuff for the clients. So I got all of that done, went through all my emails and got them all done. So that means tomorrow morning, I'm going to have a lot less emails to go through because there was a lot of emails to go through. So that's my rest of it. And then of course, by the time I finished all that, it was around was it around 4:30? Yeah. And then it was almost time to go for our evening walk. So we ended up going for our evening walk. I still haven't done my laundry. And I got back and I was sort of like, what should I do for dinner? I'm like, I don't know. And it's been one of those weird days where I'm supposed to be having a rest and relax day. And I'm like antsy about something and can't sit still. Got all these great tunes running through my head though. So I've been walking around and singing little bits of tunes, and there's one that's annoying me right now because it's a really cool song, and I've got you can't see, I've got my t-shirt on that says "Expect Miracles" written across it. And there's a song from the movie Christmas Candle, and it's sung by Susan Boyle and the choir that they had dressed up as the characters in the thing, and talking about miracles all around us. And it's a really cool song, but that's the only bit I can remember. There are miracles all around us. And that's the only bit I can remember of the entire song. And I'm like, and I was doing that the entire walk. Going, what comes next? What comes before? What comes next? Have you done that with a song where you just get a phrase of a song that just gets stuck in your head and you can't remember the rest of the song? So now I have to figure out what the rest of the song is. And so, yeah, probably after I finish on here, I'll go and look up the song and play it or something. But it's just sort of like one of those, it's just been it's been a crazy, weird day, but it's been full of music. It's been full of laughter because Zephy would just like look at me really weird and I'll just start laughing. It was really funny because I was sitting on the couch and I was putting my slippers on, getting ready to come into here. And I was telling her, I says, right, it's time to go and do our show for the night. I said, you can stay here. I'm just going to go. And I stopped at go, and her head come up like, you're going? Where are you going? What are you doing? What are you? Like, shit. And I says, no. I'm just going to the office. If you want to follow, you can, but you can go back to sleep. And she has the love seat. I sit on the 3-seater couch. She sits on the love seat, and I have a fluffy blanket like the one behind me that is on there. And she's got it, and she gets up there, and I tidy it up every morning when we come out. I straighten it all up and everything else. She gets on there and she pulls it down off the back and pushes it around and gets it all comfy for her and gets the pillows in place and then just flops down in behind it. And she looked like she was so warm and snuggly in there. And she looks so cute. I should get a picture of her. But yeah, and she just sort of like, and when I stood up to start walking, she watched. I was turned around and she was watching me to see what I would do. And I came into the office, turned the lights on, stuck my head back out, and she looks at me and just she's not coming in here tonight. So that is why there is no Zephy on the chair behind me. But yeah, so what do you do on crazy, weird, restless days when you really want to do something but you really don't want to? I really don't like those days. Those days are like crazy. Where did everybody go? Oh, there they all are. They're just like crazy, crazy days. And I just don't know what to do with myself on those days. But anyway, so what do you do? What do you do? Let us know in the comments what you do on crazy days when you're trying to rest and relax, but you can't really rest and relax. You're restless instead of relaxing, you're restless. Just seeing if I've got any comments over here. There I go with that song again. I gotta go find that song and play it because then that'll get it out of my head. But just checking to see if there's anything on. A lot of people on TikTok tonight. Thought I wouldn't get many people watching tonight with the Super Bowl being on tonight. But it is on tonight, isn't it? It is tonight for Super Bowl. Oh, I don't remember. Don't watch it anymore. I think it's tonight. Oh, that's right. I was going to go shopping tonight. That's the other thing I was going to do, and I totally forgot about it. I was meant to go shopping tonight. I was going to wait till the Super Bowl started and then go shopping. And of course, that started at 4:30 my time, which is when I finished doing the work. And then I had to take Zeffie for her walk, so I didn't get to go grocery shopping. I think I'll probably go now. Although other people may. Yeah, I could probably go now, get the shopping done. But I really don't feel like it. I don't know. I've just got to be in the right mood to go grocery shopping because I go in with my list and I stick to my list. And if I'm in a mood like this, there ain't going to be no sticking to no list. It's going to be, I feel like that. It's going to be a lot of emotional buying. And so that's when I stay out of supermarkets, is when I'm in an emotional buying mood, because all sorts of things would end up in my cart that I don't need. So there might be things I want, but they're not things that I need. So anyway, I'm going to sign off and go and figure out what to do for dinner tonight. And maybe I'll just do some soup. It's been cold today. Might just do some soup. Yeah. I've got I think I have all the ingredients to make a homemade tomato soup as well. I got to tell you, there was this TikTok, total sidetrack. There was this TikTok I saw today. I was like, how the hell do you get all that in a blender? So this guy, was it a TikTok? No, it was a reel. It was a reel on YouTube. Yeah. He brings out this chocolate cake. Okay, he's got a Vitamix there with the wide jug on it. I've got the old fashioned one from like 2004. I think we got our Vitamix. It's still going strong. But he comes out with this chocolate cake. It's about this round. And it's a beautiful looking chocolate cake. And I'm going, ooh, I've got to get me one of those when I go grocery shopping. I'm like, no, you don't need it. Oh, okay. Get that little internal dialogue going. I've been really good about staying away from refined sugar. I've been really, really good about that. And it's showing because the inches are dropping off my waist, which is awesome. It's measure day tomorrow. And I'm already released 2 inches off my waist. So it's like, yes. It's not a lot when it comes, and people go, why don't you get on scales? Because when you are releasing fat doesn't weigh as much as muscle does. And so even though my body has released 2 inches off my waist, I get on the scales, it's not going to be a lot on this. It's not going to show up a lot on the scales because fat doesn't weigh very much. And so, yeah, so we just measure it by inches. I can tell, the clothes are getting looser, which is like really cool. Oh yeah, the guy with the chocolate cake, that's what I was doing. So he has this chocolate cake and he turns around and he's going to be making, I don't even remember what it was called. So he gets this big chef's knife, cuts this cake in half while holding it in his hand. And all I can think of, I hope that knife doesn't slip. And he takes half of that cake and he's talking about this fresh baked cake. And I'm like looking at it and it's on one of those fancy cardboard thingies you get from the bakery. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, look at that. And he slides it so it drops in. So half of it drops into the blender. And I'm like, what the hell is he going to do with that? And so he has half a chocolate cake in the blender. He puts the other half down. He then comes back with a bottle of something. I don't know. It was some sort of clear alcohol liquid. I think it was clear. Maybe it had a bit of a color to it. He called it Tennessee. I think he kept calling it Tennessee. And I was trying to read the label on it. And he starts pouring this stuff in and just pours and pours and pours. And I'm like, that's all. Yeah, that would definitely not be in my whatever this is. And then he goes, and he gets this a gallon of, it was a chocolate ice cream. I think it was Eddie's something or other chocolate ice cream. And he starts putting scoops in there. He ends up putting a whole gallon of ice cream into the blender with half a chocolate cake and a whole bunch of booze. And then he gets the same Tennessee bottle and ends up, oh, we'll put some more in there. Then he turns the blender on and blends the entire thing. And I'm like, oh my. And he's got the plunger there pushing the cake down. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what the heck is this thing going to be? So then he gets out. Oh, but before he did that, he had also taken some chocolate dip and put it in a bowl and turned a I keep calling them tankards. They're the glasses with the handles on the side, and he tipped it upside down so he could rim it, and then he patted the bottom of it. So it was kind of going like this with it, so that the chocolate would come down the sides of the glass a little bit. And then he takes, and then he gets the other half of the chocolate cake and starts doing these little slices and dropping them into the glass. And this is while the blender's going, and this is what he's doing, because the other one, the chocolate's now hardened around the edge. And he takes slices of the other half of the cake. So he takes about a quarter of the cake, slices it up and puts it into this glass. And I'm like, what the heck? Then the blender's finished. So then he pours this concoction of ice cream, chocolate ice cream and chocolate cake and whatever booze it was, pours it into this glass up to the top. Then he takes the can of cream and does a little swirly thing with the cream there. Then he takes the last quarter. Actually, no, he took more than half of the, probably about 2/3 of what was left of the cake. Because then he takes this big portion of cake that's there and he sits it on the side of the glass like you do as a garnish. So he puts that there as a garnish. Then he takes a straw and puts it on the other side and starts drinking this thing. And I'm like, apart from the booze, that looks really good. I don't do alcohol, but I would happily, I'm sort of thinking, that would give me a huge, huge sugar headache. But the chocolate, oh yeah. With chocolate, I am such a huge chocoholic. I would be all over that thing, except I'd have to take measures to make sure I didn't get as bad of a chocolate headache as I normally get, because that would have been bad. If I ate too much chocolate, if I ate too much sugar, I end up getting really bad headaches, especially if I eat it so I stop eating anything with sugar in around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, because any time after that, and I start drinking water to flush out whatever sugar I've eaten that day. Otherwise, I wake up in the morning with a really bad sugar hangover headache. Yeah, it's bad. But anyway, so keep an eye out for that. I think I was on YouTube on a reel. Pretty sure that's where I saw it. But I was just looking at this thing and going, oh yeah, I'd have to make a cake that has done with coconut sugar rather than refined sugar. And I was thinking of different ways I can make it healthy. So, but yeah, and it would be dark chocolate, like around 85 to 90% cacao within it. And I'd be using coconut sugar instead of regular sugar. All the other ingredients would be okay because you put eggs in there. Actually, I could do an egg white chocolate cake. And I'll use cassava flour, so it'll be gluten-free. And then I have some really cool ice cream recipes, so I can make my own chocolate ice cream. Yeah. So I was thinking of ways I could alter the recipe to make it healthy. Haven't figured out how to do icing, though. I have to figure out the icing. But who would need icing? Because if you put the cake in there without the icing, oh no, you probably won't need. And this one was a 2-layer cake as well. It was probably about this thick. It wasn't like a cake on top of a cake. It was like a regular cake that had been cut in half, and they'd put the filling in there as well. So yes, I'd have to figure out how to do the filling and the icing without all the sugar. I'm sure I could figure it out. But anyway, I'm gone. I'm done. I'm out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Stay away from the sugar. If you're watching the game, I hope it's going well. And we will catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. Hey, konera.